I made an offer to an agent and I told him I'm a wholesaler, and I just got off the phone call with him and I told him I needed to send some partners through the property, and I was very transparent with what I was doing. He was totally cool with it. That's how you run your business. You got to be open, honest. I could say wholesale with confidence, right? Because if you're confident about what you do, then you'll win, right? So I wanted to show everyone here really quick how I told this, how I was transparent with this agent, because I feel like a lot of people tiptoe around like what we do. They're like, oh, you know what? I don't know if I want to tell the agent I'm a wholesaler or I wholesale. So let me show you guys exactly how I did it. And I just got off the call with him too, right? And I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing. And he even buck at all?
Dude, no, man, he didn't skip a beat.
He didn't
He
skip a
was like, yeah, man, he was excited. He's like, dude, oh, thank God, man. I'm excited. Bro, he was so hyped. He was so hyped to move forward with you.
Thank goodness you're sending some of your buyers through the property. I'll put a lockbox on it for you. All right. So I was making an offer. I want to show everyone here really quick on how to talk to agents, because a lot of you might struggle with knowing how to talk to an agent. So listen to this.
Hi, this is Jay.
Hey Jay, how are you? I'm calling about your listing on Chastain Lakes. This is me making an offer. Do you have a couple minutes to chat, or are you busy?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm just giving a call about the property. I'm an investor out of Salt Lake City, Utah, but I've recently kind of backed out of my market and I'm coming into Atlanta. I grew up here, close to this area. Yeah, I just saw your listing. I looked for some properties in the area that looked like it needed a little bit of work. I'm either looking to flip them or rent them, but I just wanted to call you and kind of get some more information on the property. I see the pictures. It looks like it needs some work, but is that kind of the situation? It's being sold as is, or?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly it. And he, the owner and his wife, when they come back in town, they stay in it. They've lived in it, but they just don't have the time to work on it. So they're like, at this point, we're just going to keep it on the market. If somebody buys it, great. If not, then we'll just keep using it as a place to come and park when we're here doing stuff. And so for them, it's more convenience. But they're like, if we can sell it, that'd be obviously the best thing for us.
So as an investor, I mean, we're always looking for good deals. They probably gotten some lower offers and just saying, hey, no, we're just going to sell it if we get the right offer. Right?
That's exactly right.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm new to the area. I'm unrepresented. I don't have an agent that I work with yet. Would you, if we were to work some out, would you be able to represent me, or would?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I can drop the price a little bit more, give you more concessions as well.
Okay. Is that what you do instead of double dipping? You just take off the price and not take the buyer's fee, or what do you do?
I make it so everybody's happy. So
okay, great.
There's no one thing, right? So everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah. So for me, either way, if you take both sides or you just bring it down a little bit, it's all good for me, right? So
yeah, or I'll convince him to put more in concessions.
Yes.
Right. So
yeah, of course.
I know, anyway, so we can say if it's going to take 25,000 or 30,000 of material and stuff to do it, then just ask him to pay 25 or 30 toward the purchase at the end.
And they'd be potentially willing to do that.
It's a net number to them, right? So
that's true.
Between that and commissions and everything else, so we can package it however the heck we want.
Gotcha.
But that'd be the cleanest way to do it, is just say keep everything the same, but let's see if he'll give you guys a kickback for repairs and renovations.
Gotcha. So I'm taking a look at the property. I've done a little research in the area, not like too much, but the after repair value, is it still with the market the way it is? Is it still around like 520, 550 if we repaired this all the way, or is that too high?
No, you actually nailed it. What you use to come up with the evaluation?
I use a service. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called Batch Leads. It's like these softwares that you can run comps pretty easily and like look for.
Yeah, so wholesalers use that.
Yeah. So I do both.
Yeah.
I wholesale and I fix and flip, and that's kind of why I'm leaving Utah. It's getting competitive, and not a lot of buyers are buying right now. So I'm like, you know what? I need to go to Atlanta, try something different. And I've always wanted to invest in Atlanta too. So
there you go. Now the stuff in Atlanta, if it's fixed up, it sells.
Right.
So it's just the one.
Bam. So check it out. I told them exactly that I'm a wholesaler, right? Like no biggie. Just if you say it with confidence, there's nothing to hide. Softwares that you can run comps pretty easily and like look for.
Yeah, so wholesalers use that.
Yeah, so I do both.
Yeah.
I wholesale and I fix and flip, and that's kind of why I'm leaving Utah. It's just getting so. Anyway, so I told them straight up, and that's the thing, everyone. You can say, yeah, I wholesale and I fix and flip. I do it all. Why wouldn't you? Let me tell you guys something really quick that are just getting started that don't know. If you are an investor, if you're a fix and flipper and you don't wholesale, you're dumb. You're an idiot. Because you can't, as a flipper, you can't take on every property. You can't. If a wholesaler brings you a deal that is a great deal, but you can't flip because you're over leveraged, you don't have any more money to flip, you're just going to let that go? No, you're going to say, yeah, I'll take that deal. And then you're going to wholesale it. There's a flipper in my market. He did 92 deals last year. And out of the 92, 60 were wholesale deals. And he's one guy. He's been flipping for 15 years. It's one dude, and he's got 3 VAs. He runs a more profitable wholesaling company than most people because he's a flipper that people know, and he's willing to take those deals and wholesale, right? So that's honestly why I got the model I'm doing right now, is just painless wholesaling. Be a buyer and know your buyers. People will bring you deals, and do deals when you can and when you want to flip, and then wholesale the rest. But that's why you got to do it the reverse way, or I would say the painless way, the right way. But if you just go and look for deals nonstop, you're going to spend a lot of money, a lot of time. And that's why Privy's money, because Privy will show you exactly where the deals are in your area. And so you don't have to just go look and spend all your money on marketing, all that stuff. Right.
I love it, man. I think it's so funny. So you and I, we haven't really, like, we've been doing our things separately, in our own market. So we haven't really gotten to see too much of what each other's doing. And it's funny because we're both talking about the same exact thing. I know today, that was a really big point I brought up too. I wasn't talking with agents. I was talking with title companies. I was talking with a guy from New Western, and then a couple cash buyers. And the one consistent pattern, and the one thing that I explained to the people watching was, I was like, guys, in my conversation, I'm not trying to like posture and make it sound like, oh, I'm this big dude doing all these deals. Like, I'm calling people in Florida with a New York phone number, and I live in Danbury, Connecticut, right? And it's like, I'm not lying to anybody. I'm not making anything up. I'm just being completely honest and transparent of like, hey, this is what I'm trying to do. This is what I'm looking for. Are you able to help me out? And guys, I'd say that's the number one thing that we talk about is be honest, go about the business in an ethical way. And the funny thing is, when you do that, right, and you kind of put all that other stuff aside and behind you, you'll find you get a lot more success, right? You'll get a lot further when talking to people. Be willing to just be honest and vulnerable with people. Everybody doesn't have to pretend like, we're some big company.
All right, guys, real quick, I want to show you how to tell a real estate agent that you've already told that you're a wholesaler, how you're going to walk people through the property. So check this out. So I just recorded myself chatting with Jay. It's Jay, right?
It is.
Okay, great. Jay, I appreciate it, and look forward. So I called my real estate agent, and I left him a voicemail saying, hey, I need to know when I can walk my buyers through, walk my hard money lender as I'm buying it. And this is the conversation we had. Hey, Jay, how you doing?
Good, man. How are you?
Good. Did you get my voicemail?
I did. Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Yes. Do you have people already that you want to go with?
What do you mean for the hard money?
Inspectors, contractors. Sorry. So to get you in and look at the property.
So no, I have to get that scheduled. I have that proof of funds letter that I sent you. I have a guy I use in Utah, but maybe if you have some connections to hard money lenders, that'd be great. I asked you for a contractor, but if you can, I'm going to look around today. I'm going to get my funds ready. And then I also, just to be safe, I always just run this by a couple investors in the area that I know, just to see if I'm not way off on my numbers. But that's pretty much where I'm at.
I've got one guy that I know does a ton of business as far as renovations go.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll probably give you some volume pricing, especially if you do more with him.
Okay.
Let me see what his availability is, and see if he can get out there.
Well, I guess what's the best way to walk it? Is there a lockbox, or do I need to schedule everything through you?
Schedule anyway, just because I gotta let the seller know just in case.
Okay.
We're not surprised that they decide to stop in town themselves.
All right, bam, that's it. Nothing too crazy. If you guys didn't catch it, all I was doing is I just said to the agent, hey, agent, I need to set up a time to walk through the property. He said, what, do you already have a guy? And I said, well, I'm buying it with a hard money lender if I want to flip this. So if I want to flip it, I need to send my hard money lender and some contractors, but I also send some business partners or some investors I work with in the area through, just to make sure I'm making a good decision, right? Because I don't know the area perfectly. So that's a way that with an agent, you can say, hey, I'm crossing all my T's, dotting all my I's. I send my hard money lender, send a contractor, send some investors, because if my contractor goes in and I got my numbers wrong, but I have an investor that I can wholesale this to, I'll wholesale it. And I already told you I wholesale. I already told you I'm sending them through. It's as simple as that, right? So no need to feel like you're doing something weird. I would wholesale a deal or send it out to people, even if I was a flipper anyway, because if I have a deal that I'm about to flip and I send it out to 10 buyers that I know, and all of them are like $50,000 lower than I am, I probably did my numbers wrong. As a flipper, I probably did something I shouldn't have been. Maybe I missed something. So as a flipper, as the people we wholesale to, I would do it anyway. That sounds like a great idea, right, Nate?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that's great about wholesaling and kind of what we teach with, start with the end in mind, right? Start with your buyers. Is there's no better way to learn your market when you're starting out than by, one, talking with your buyers and learning what is it they're actually buying and what they're looking for and what is it they don't want, right? And then three, actually, looking at deals and looking at numbers and looking at like what's the price things are selling at. Like, for example, Orlando, Florida, right? I'm not familiar with that market at all. I just started there 3 days ago, right? But in 3 days, I've gotten to learn, okay, well, one thing specific to my market is a lot of guys don't do wood frame homes. It needs to either be a block home or on a slab, right? For Florida, I would have had that's not a thing up where I am, up north in Connecticut or New York or, my previous market, West Michigan. That wasn't a thing. In West Michigan, one thing that was really specific to that market was you could have two homes that are identical, almost identical. One in bedrooms, the build, everything. And you're like, dude, this is a comp, man. You're like, yes, this is my home run comp. However, that one home that you think is your comp, they have a finished basement. Or even if it's an unfinished basement, but it's a full basement. Versus if your home would have what's called the Michigan basement, which is just like a dirt basement. Like, it's nothing really. That could be like a $25,000 difference. $25,000 difference when your ARV is like 130. That's a big swing, right? That's a deal or not a deal type of situation. And the only way you get to learn that is, especially if that's not your market, is from your other buyers, right? You get to leverage their knowledge, their experience. And that's why, look, even if you're a type of guy, like if you have the money to yeah, man, let me just buy these 5 houses cash, it ain't no thing. That's cool. I would still suggest that you start out doing this, right? Start out in wholesale, 1, 2, 3 deals, because you'll learn kind of where the blind spots are. You'll be like, oh, I never thought about that. Or wow, I didn't know that would be an issue, right? Or I didn't realize this area was bad, or whatever the case may be.
Well said. I love it. So if a lot of you are new and you don't have buyer relationships, that's exactly what you need to go do. Go find some buyers, talk to them, network with them, learn from them. And that's exactly what we tell people to do. That's what we're doing in our challenge. So if you haven't watched us on how we talk to buyers, join, because that's exactly where, if you were to come to me and say, Nate, what do I do first? Talk to buyers. That's what you do.